I think the past week, the incidents which have taken place in Bradford are what need to be spoken about today at Jummah. And they're two very different incidents. The first was the incident of joyriding. Two young lads sat in their car, not knowing how to control the power. And one of them unfortunately passed away, whose janazah is today. And a couple of days ago, everyone must have heard of the young boy who committed suicide due to bullying. So two very different incidents, both involving the youth, right on our doorstep. And you'd think we'd learned by now, especially youngsters in cars. The amount of examples in the past year, some of you may know of them, some of you may not have heard of them. Brothers who died whilst driving a car, they were underage, they didn't have a license, they hired a car from somebody, some fast car, of which they couldn't control, they lost control, they passed away, they left families behind, friends who just can't believe it. And it's a regular occurrence, which is what is disappointing, which makes you think, when are we going to actually learn? As a community, as youngsters, when are we actually going to learn that life's not all about driving a fast car? We watch the films Fast and Furious and play the Need for Speed games and Gran Turismo, and we get a bit of adrenaline rush playing them or watching those movies, thinking, yeah, I bet I could do that as well. We see Vin Diesel in his car in Fast and Furious and we think, yeah, you know what, I'm going to have a crack at doing the same thing as him. Not knowing that that's a movie, it's all fake. It's all for our entertainment. You couldn't drive a car like that in real life. You can't drive through 3 buildings like they show you in the trailer. It's impossible. Yeah, what we see on the movies, we try to replicate on the streets. You see it all the time. A road which has a 20 mile per hour limit, you'll see 2 idiots driving at 50 miles per hour. Thinking, yeah, and they'll come out of it the first time, unscathed, undamaged. And they'll sit afterwards in a takeaway having a good meal and saying, you know, bad boy race that was. Yeah. You see the way, you know, I got into gear 5 and I flew past you and then you caught me up, and they talk about it with each other and they think, yeah. So they think we've got away with it once. You know what, we'll try it again. So they go again. And they lose control. Whack, into a tree, into a lamppost. Front of the car, damaged. Head through the windscreen. 16 years old, 17 years old. Mother and father don't know where they are, because they've told them a lie. They've said, yeah, we're going to so-and-so place. We're going to our friend's house to do homework or something. God knows what youngsters say nowadays. I don't know why the parents even let them out at 11 o'clock. That's another issue. Why give them a phone at such a young age? Why give them so much freedom that they feel that they can rob a car or hire a car? Where do they get the money from? And then, once hiring this car, once they've robbed this car, they feel they can jump into this car and joyride it without a license. You know, even if you don't die at the end of this, even if the consequence isn't your death, or the outcome, isn't your death, you could get caught by the police. There's so much risk. But this is what we seem to thrive off as youngsters today. Risk. Taking risks. Pushing the limit. Because people say, yeah, he's a G. He's the man on the street. He's doing it. He's taken that risk. You know, he's hit a mission. Let's go hit a mission today. Let's go rob a car. Let's go drive into a lamppost in the end. Imagine how that kid's mother feels. Father feels. They didn't know death was around the corner for their child. How much regret do you think they have in their heart that they let him out that night? And they let him go to where he went? He probably gave them guarantees, saying, Mom, Dad, I'll be back home tonight. Don't worry. My friend's going to take me for a little spin. Imagine the brother who's now in intensive care, you imagine he survives, he's going to have this on his head for the rest of his life. Was that 5 minutes of adrenaline rush, of fulfilling your desires, of thinking you're a bad man, a bad boy, worth it? No. It's cost somebody his life. It's cost another brother potentially his life as well. Left behind heartache for the parents, for the families, for the friends. And is that some way to die? Joyriding with your friend, and then you're on the front page of the news. Your name is on the front page of the news. Not for the reason your parents would ever think of. Not for the reason that you thought you'd be on the front page. It's because you wanted to fulfill the 5 seconds, 10 seconds, even 5 minutes, let's push it. 5 minutes desire. What the devil feeds us. The waswasa he gives us. He gives us that, we all hear the whisper. Sometimes you think you're going crazy, you're talking to yourself. Or do this, something wrong, go towards that path. And we do it. You'll see Muslim boys, they'll sleep with women. The pleasure will last them 5 minutes, and then she's pregnant. And then they go away stuck, and they come running to people like me. Oh, Officer, what's the ruling on abortion? Oh, what are my parents going to say? Why? Because they wanted to fulfill 5 minutes of desire. They jump into a car, and once they get away with it twice, third time, they're caught, they're dead. This is what happens. This is the reality. They're smoking a cigarette one day, the next day they're on spliffs. They start smoking that spliff and they think, yeah, I've got a sick buzz here. You know what, I'm doing it. Before they know it, he's hooked and he can't get off it. And from spliffs he thinks, I'll go to the drug, that's above that, cocaine. Let's go try a bit of cocaine because everyone's doing it. Why not? Or we go to a nightclub and we think, yeah, everyone's drinking liquor here. I might as well get liquored up as well. Get drunk. Let's see what the buzz is all about. Then you go and do something stupid whilst you're in that state. Leaving behind regret. A lifetime thinking, what did I just do? Why did I do this? What is the purpose? We as a community need to stand up and teach our youth and youngsters, our children, about these issues. Joyriding. Parents need to be stronger. Today, our parents are too weak. When you talk to a few of the older generation who are 35, 40, they'll say our mums and dads were strict, proper. You speak to someone from London and from the East and they go, yeah, proper. Our parents were proper. Why? They brought us up properly. They were strict with us. They were strong. They were firm. When they said no, it meant no. But the generation that came after, oh, I didn't get what my son wants today, so I'll get him it. Oh, he wants a phone at the age of 10, he's got an iPhone 6 Plus. I remember some of my students had better phones than me at one time. Ustadji, look at the phone, you've got, look at the phone, I've got. That's what they used to say to me. What use is iPhone 6 to a 6-year-old kid? A 7-year-old kid? Could somebody tell me? What use is £10 to a 12-year-old kid? What is a 12-year-old kid going to do with £10? Does he really need £10 a day? Are you doing something great by giving him that £10? No, you're not. You're spoiling him. What's he going to do with that £10? What do they do in schools nowadays? The older lads sell cigarettes to the younger lads. I'll tell you. And what do the younger lad think? Yeah, I've got £10 on me today. I'll spend £2-3 on sweets, drinks, chocolates. Still £7 left over. Or you know what? Everyone else is smoking. One cigarette for 50p, I might as well just go buy it. Then he started smoking. He's in year 7, year 8. He's become a habitual smoker. He's built up this habit. Year 9, they started to bring in spliffs into school. So you know what? I'll try that. No problem. Year 10 and 11, they started to mess about with girls. You know what? I'll try that as well. By the time he gets to 18, his parents come to the Maulvis and say, Maulvi Sahab, kids are out of control. Why is that the case? The parents have to come crying to the Maulvi, not saying that it's wrong, or to the imams in the masjid. But why is it that we've resorted to this? That you want a Maulvi to sort out all your problems? Why can't you be firm with your child yourself? Why can't you tell him no? Obviously a child wants things. Obviously they want to be spoiled. That's a child's nature. But what's the parent's job? To nurture him properly. To teach him when something is right for him, he will get it. When it's not right for him, he won't get it. I didn't get a phone till I was 19 years old. My friends will tell you. They used to always take the mick out of me saying, yeah, how are we supposed to get hold of you for football? How are we supposed to get hold of you if we're going to go eat with you? I said, don't worry, where there's a will, there's a way. You can come knock on my door if that's the last resort. My cousin sat in front of me, he will tell you he didn't get a phone till he was 19 as well. Because this is how our parents brought us up. I never used to take more than £1 spending money to school. Sometimes I used to go without anything. Why? Because I didn't need it. Yes, I used to feel in my heart my mum and dad are too strict, but today I thank them. And every child thanks them when they get to that age of maturity, that our parents did right by us. But what we think is we'll give in to the child today. He's crying too much, okay, we'll give in to him. Give him what he wants. And then you complain when he's 17 that he's too spoiled, that he doesn't listen to me no more. He argues with me. He stands up to me. Well, obviously, this is how you brought him up. You brought him up to think that whatever he wants, he will get. And now when you don't give him something at the age of 18, he's going to feel in his head, why are they not giving me something? And it's not only at home they start feeling like this, they go outside and they act like they're spoiled. We need to nurture our children properly. We need to be firm with them. We need to teach them how to be proper Muslims. Which brings me on to the second incident that happened this week of the bullying. 3 older lads bullied a young child who only joined secondary school. He was there for 3 weeks. They bullied him so far that he contemplated whether to live or to kill himself. And in the end, what did he do? An 11-year-old child. Now I'm only young, but I've never heard of this before. Especially in Bradford. That somebody bullied someone so much. Think about it, he's an 11-year-old kid. Which 11-year-old ever thinks about killing themselves? 11-year-olds don't think like this. How do they think? We've got a life ahead of us. There's an adventure in front of us. We've got memories to make, friends to make, an education to earn, to go university, have a good job, make good money, fulfill whatever we wanted as kids, fulfill our dreams when we grow up. But some cruel young boys thought it was fit to bully this young kid. Again, we need to teach our children that this is wrong. Islam has a 0% tolerance towards bullying, towards doing zulm upon someone, to oppress someone, to make them feel like they're inferior to someone. What did the Prophet ﷺ say? There is no difference between anyone, an Arab and a non-Arab, a white and a black, other than in their deeds, the good deeds that they do and the bad deeds that they do. Today we see somebody who's different to us, who dresses different to us. I know some people, when they see somebody disabled, they laugh at him. This is the way we are. Just because Allah has given us everything. 2 eyes to see with, ears to hear with, 2 hands. Sometimes we see somebody who is disabled, less able than us, and we look down upon them. And inside we have a good joke about them. Even a private joke between our friends. Or look at him. He can't see properly. Look at the way his eye is. Look at his physical features. Does Islam teach me and you to do this? No. It teaches everybody to be equal. And there's so many cases from the time of the Prophet ﷺ of equality. The greatest is when they made Hazrat Bilal do the azan, radiyallahu anhu. He was a black man, a slave. Somebody who's seen as bottom of the food chain is a slave. Yet they told him, you go do the azan. To teach them about equality. You could argue there was somebody who was more worthy than him. Why is it that we think it's cool to bully one another, to take the mick out of one another? Why is it that we're not teaching our kids to be kind to one another, to show compassion, to show empathy? How has it come to this state that an 11-year-old kid felt it was okay to kill himself? As a community, we need to stand up. We need to speak about this. Instead of burying our heads in the sand, which is what we do with a lot of issues. A lot of issues that affect our youth, we bury our head in the sand. But when it comes to Gyarvi Sharif and all these other things, yeah, khatams and everything, we're the first ones there. But issues that need to be tackled head on, we'll hide away from them. Because nobody wants to talk about them in the masjid. Nobody's ever spoken about bullying in our masjid. Tell me, when have you ever been to a Jummah khutbah where the Imam spoken about bullying or equality? It's always the same speech. It's always the same thing. We need to come together as a community. Today it's happened to this kid. Tomorrow it could be our kid in that position. How would we like it? Tell me. If your kid was being bullied so much that he couldn't even speak up, he felt he had nobody to speak to, how would we feel? That he's being oppressed, he's being pushed into a corner, he can't even speak up. You know, his mother said, I'm coming to speak to you, I just need to go to the bathroom. What did he do? He thought, I've got 2 minutes alone, I'll lock myself in the bedroom and I'll hang myself. How did his mother know? What must his mother be going through today? We have a 0% tolerance against bullying. We don't accept it. Islam does not accept bullying, to put somebody down. This is not the way we have been taught. This is not what our Prophet ﷺ taught us, to oppress one another. This is a lesson for all of us, that we need to speak about this openly to our children, to teach them that bullying is wrong, to teach them that taking a mick out of another child is wrong. You know, if it's between your own group of friends and you've all got an understanding, fine. You know, I've been guilty of it myself. Sometimes we don't know how sensitive another brother is towards what we say to them. Sometimes we have no filter. My friend will be smiling because he always says that to me. He goes, Hafiz Saab, you got no filter when you speak. You're very raw. Very to the point. And sometimes you just need to be a bit sensitive when you speak to someone, because everyone's different. Allah's created everybody differently. Not everybody will take that joke, what your best friend will take from you. Not everybody will be as understanding as they are. That's because you two have built up this understanding. A group of friends have grown up together. They know how each other are. They know each other's traits, personalities. But sometimes we go into a new group of people and we think, yeah, I'll crack the same jokes I crack with the normal people. And they'll be looking and thinking, what's this guy? Is hurt my feelings? Is hurt my friend's feelings? You know, just chill out. And it happens all the time. We need to become more sensitive as people. We need to think about other people's feelings when we speak to them. You know, our words, our tongue is like a sword sometimes. Words are what can hurt somebody more. You know, if that kid got beaten up, do you think he would have killed himself? Let's be honest. He would have said, yeah, you know, I've been beaten up. Fine. But it's this mental torture, it's verbal torture that kills somebody from the inside. Believe me, words can have such an impact on our hearts. You know, when we be kind to one another, how do you feel? You know, when your father's or your son is kind to you, how do you feel? What's the happiness you feel in your heart? It's beautiful, isn't it? But when somebody is mean to you or cruel to you, how do you feel? It's like a dagger in your heart, isn't it? When your best friend has said something to you which you didn't like, how does it feel at the heart? It's always the words, isn't it? This is what needs to be under control. Our tongues. We need to learn how to control them. If you've got nothing good to say, they say stay quiet. Be silent. If not, speak good then. Be happy. Be kind with everyone. This is the way we've been taught. You know, the Prophet ﷺ had rubbish thrown on them. Did they go and swear at that woman? No, they didn't. The day the rubbish didn't fall on them, what did they do? They knocked on the woman's door. They said, what's wrong with you today? I don't feel any rubbish being thrown on me. She said, I'm ill. And the Prophet ﷺ prayed for her and she accepted Islam. Because the Prophet ﷺ showed mercy. He showed kindness. And there's so many examples I could go on. And your Jummah would get late and then you'd all curse me afterwards. But I'd stop there. We need to teach our kids. I plead with you. I'm younger than all of you here. All of you have children, all of you are parents. But I know because I'm part of the youth that's growing up. I'm part of this generation that's growing up. That we need to be educated. Our parents need to educate us. And when we grow up, those who are my age in the audience, we need to educate our kids. Because it's our duty. Teach them how to be kind to one another. Teach them manners. Be firm with them when it's time to be firm. Be nice to them when it's time